All right, first off, thank you very much for watching this video. The reason why we're having this video is because of the fact that we ran out of time in class, and I just want to make sure we're all good with the final grades. So let me encourage you, as I'm only going to do 2 problems, let me just encourage you to pause the video and to do it yourself. All right, so this first one is about John. So John has received his AMDM grades, and this is what, so we had 3 tests, 2 quizzes, 1 performance final, 1 final exam. So we're trying to figure out John's final grade. All right, so the way we do that is we had 3 tests, 82, 88, 78. So I'm going to add them up, and I'm going to divide by 3, and I get 82.7. Okay? I'm going to just type it in rather than write it in. All right, so 90 and 100, we end up with 95. The performance final being 78, that's easy. That's just 78 because there's only 1, and then the performance final, or the final exam was 80. So these were all of our mean scores here. Now, if you remember from today, what you're going to do is you are going to take the mean score and multiply it by the category score. Now remember that this is the percentage which all of them need to be converted back to decimals. So 45% will be 0.45, 0.35 for quiz. Now this is where people screw up. The performance final is 5, it's 0.05. That's 5%. And lastly, the final exam is 15. So here we go. 82.7 times 0.45 gives me 37.2. That's my raw score. The next one, 95 times 0.35 gives me 33.3. The next one is 78 times 0.05. That gives me 3.9. And lastly, the 80 times 15 gives me 12. So those are all my raw scores. None of this should be new at this point. So what is John's final grade? Add all the raw scores up, and that will be his final grade. So his final grade for the class for the semester is 86.4. So his overall grade is 86.4. So finding his final grade, there you have it. Pretty simple. Now the next thing we're going to do is what must Bill, so we have a Bill, and now we have his test, quiz, homework, classwork, but now his final exam, because he wants to make a 90 in the class, and he hasn't taken the final exam yet. So we got to figure out what grade must he get on the final exam in order to get a 90. So again, same thing, figure out all your mean scores. So figuring out your mean scores, again, pause the video, do it yourself, and see if you can get it right. So I'm going to go ahead and do all the mean scores really fast. All right, there you have it, 74, 74.7, you can read it. Now next, remember, I'm going to take the mean scores and I'm going to multiply by the category scores. Remember, these are percentages, 0.4, 0.2, 0.05, 0.15. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that very fast. All right, so all of our raw scores are this. Now remember, the question is, what must Bill get on his final exam? So we haven't gotten his final grade yet. So we got to figure out what must he do in order to get a 90. Now, I wrote this down during class, or I gave it to you. Hopefully you got it. The grade the student wants to get. The grade the student wants to get. Well, he wants to get a 90. So he wants to get a 90. So 90 would be here. He wants to get a 90. Now, the raw score total. Add up all the raw scores, and you get 59. So I'm going to take 50, subtract 59, and I'm going to get 31. Now it says divide 31 by the final exam percentage. The final exam percentage is 25, so I'm going to divide that by 0.25. And when I do that, I get my answer, which is 124. So in order for Bill to make a 90 in the class, he has got to make a 124 on the final exam. Now, you know as well as I do, you cannot make 124 on a final exam that has a maximum score of 100. So basically what we conclude at this point, where if it's above 100, that is not possible, which means Bill will never get a 90 in the class. So There it is. Let me know if you have any questions the next time you see me. Thank you for watching.